Good morning, everybody. I'm Evelyn Thoren. I am your host for the Dawn Patrol that goes from 6 to 7, and we have City Life from 7 to 8. Sam Chase is my co-host. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning.
Early, and we have John McDonough behind the camera. As you can see on your screen, we have Sidney Liang and Ray Leavitt coming in at 7 o'clock for obviously different reasons, and we'll talk about that later in the show. So it's... Let me see. I had my little weather report thing coming up, and it's roughly 20 degrees. There's not much wind out there. There was black ice.
It was slippery coming in, yes.
Yeah, so everybody has to be careful of the road conditions. Things did get warmer yesterday. It went above freezing, and so you have some thawing that's out there, and so the roads pretty much, they're not in bad shape coming in from Chelmsford.
No, they're okay.
But everybody needs to be careful. The roads are getting narrower with the more snow that we have. It does appear as though we'll probably be in more of a deep freeze as of Sunday, Monday, and possibly some more snow. But right now, I don't know what that long-range forecast is.
495 in connector?
No, you come.
No, I go 495 and then the connector.
Yeah.
How about you, Sam?
Yeah, same thing.
You were behind me.
I was?
Yes,
Oh.
you were at where Feeney's Florist used to be when I passed you.
Oh, okay, all right.
And I drive faster than you do coming out of Chelmsford. So I saw your car and I go, okay, I'll be there first.
I did watch the weather this morning on Channel 5, so,
Boy, is she a motor mouth or what?
Cindy?
Yeah.
Yeah, she talks.
How many words can she get into 10 seconds?
Well, she's pretty good. They said that today, tomorrow, and Saturday, especially Saturday, so we're going to have a little bit of a warming trend. So Saturday is supposed to get up to close to 50 degrees, so we should get 3 days of, and sun as well, okay? So we should get 3 days of pretty good melting. Once it's 40 and the sun comes out, this time of year, the sun is pretty direct in the sky. I like to stand outside and watch that water just pour off my roof.
Well, mine's not just pouring off my roof, it's pouring in.
Oh, that's not good.
No, so we had...
You had ice dams.
We have ice dams every year. It's just this year, it happens that we ended up having water in, and I don't understand why. So we'll figure that out in the spring when everything goes.
I have a theory, because I had, when we had the, was it 10, 11 years ago, when we had the 3 big storms and we had 120 inches of snow, whenever it was, you remember that?
Yeah.
Everybody had water damage. And,
Yeah, but we didn't have any.
Well, we did, not much, a little. But the problem then and the problem this time was you get the snow on the roof, okay, and it melts, and it traps the water under the snow, and it forms ice when it refreezes at night. Usually in January, you'll get 4 or 5 days, and then the first part of February, where you get some melting. We didn't get any melting this year. It was too cold, all right, and that's why people had more trouble with ice dams.
Well, we've been in...
2 things with ice dams. Everyone talks about, the heat that gets up into the attic and melt. It isn't just that, okay? Because let me tell you, I am super insulated upstairs. I've got it's like an R60 or an R70, believe me. And I know because I did it myself. I didn't hire it done. I insulated it myself, so I know. Once you get some roof that is exposed, you get some snow that's off and it's exposed, and the sun beats down on the roof, that heats up the interior of your attic as well. It's not just, there is a problem with heat escaping. Yes, that is true, but that's not the only thing, because I know people that are super insulated like me, and they say, well, I get the ice dams. And I said, because you get the sun beating down on the roof and it heats up the interior, so you need more ventilation up in your attic. So you need a ridge vent, you need soffits all the way around, which I have, and I also put in the peak vents, because in the wintertime, you get the snow that covers your ridge vent. So
I have all of that.
At that point, you don't get any venting, so you need to have
Right.
very good venting as well.
I have what you said. I have
Yeah.
the vents all the way around. I have a ridge vent when we
Yeah.
had the new roof put on 20
Very
years ago.
important.
And I have the end vents.
Yep,
And we've had ice dams in the past.
yeah.
But this year, I don't have no idea. And when the guy put the roof on, my understanding was because we requested it. I'm thinking about seeing. I don't think I have any paperwork on it, but putting the ice and water shield all the way up to the ridge vent, so it should not be penetrating
You're right.
the roof.
I have the same thing.
So
yeah.
the question is it not sealed enough, which is a possibility, around the vent pipe? And if that's true, then it's running down that way.
Yeah, that's
Glenn got
prob-
up in the
yeah.
attic yesterday because we saw some water in his office. Nothing's dripping. It went to the basement to drip. It dripped in my kitchen. We even took the can out of the ceiling so that it would, the heat would dry out the sheetrock. And then I started to paint, but it looks like it's going to take about 4 coats of paint.
Oh, yeah, it takes a lot.
Because it's got to absorb, it kind of took the bad part out, but it still is a huge stain. Plus, we're going to rip one of the bathrooms apart at some point in time. Who knows when? Maybe I'll die first. But anyway, that ceiling will be redone. But there's, and like I said, the water went to the basement, I have a lot of stuff in my basement. So one of the things I had stored down there, because I haven't got room in my kitchen, is a wok, a WOK. And where I had put it on the shelf, it collected
cooking.
the water
Oh,
that
that's
dripped
good.
down.
That's
So when I went down to use it, I was going to show my granddaughter what a WOK was, because she had no clue, and we were going to make a chicken dish. And when I saw that, I said, well, I'm not going to do that. But at that point, everything got a little bit more complicated. But most of the water went in there. And I have like a library down there, so I was very much concerned. So one of my goals is to move a lot of the books. But the last thing I want to know is that it's going to get super warm enough to cause more issues inside my house. But like I said, it's the first time. And Glenn's you can't rake the snow off the main house because
too
it's
high.
2 stories up
Yeah.
in 3 stories up in the back. But he has been trying to, rake it off the family room roof, which is a single story. And there's a lot of stuff that collects in there too. So everybody be careful driving. Be aware of any long-term forecast. There's a lot of snow out there. If I go see my friend in Hingham tomorrow, if I think about it, I'll take pictures, because they got on the coast a
Oh,
whole
yeah.
lot more snow.
Oh, they got
Evelyn,
upwards
my
of 3 feet.
roofer, a long time ago, what he did was, he put a rubber roof on. This is a rubber roof. And he took the siding off the house. So he ran the rubber roof all the way here, made it up
Yep.
to right under this window, then put the siding back on.
That's the right way to do it.
And we
That's
never
what we
had
did.
any problem with water, no matter what happens on any of these roofs. And so when this roof's gone, we'll put a rubber roof here, same thing, you'll take the bottom off here, and you'll
Right.
never have a problem again.
Right, so my,
You have slate roof on the main roof, right? Is it
That's a
slate?
slate roof.
Yeah, I don't have
and
a slate
I
roof.
had roofers try to buy the slate, I'll take the slate off,
Oh,
I'll replace
yeah.
the roof.
of course they do.
So-
There's a market for it.
No,
But-
I'm good.
Yeah, so when we had the ice and water shield put on, it went up the side where it could, like where my family room roof is. It went up the sides to create the trough, if you want to do that. But when we had the hurricanes and stuff come through, and it comes through as a northeaster, we get water in the family room because it's not 100% sealed on wherever the window was. Whatever's going on, it blows in a crack. It probably needed, before it was finished on the inside, it probably needed to have the foam stuff done around the window so the water couldn't get in. But the water has come in different places
Comment
and
from
dripped.
the audience, don't forget clogged gutters can contribute to the ice dam.
Right, but in the back where the water's coming in, I have no gutters.
Yeah.
But if you do have gutters, it can screw things.
That's
Take
correct.
them down. I
Yeah.
had, 11 years ago when we had that huge snow, I had ice backup, ice dam in the back. and I had gutters, and in the spring, I took those down. I said, you know, and roofers have told me, he said, gutters are the worst things in the world.
Well, I
And,
would have to have something at the roof line over my front door.
We're going back to my house, and right here, this slate roof, it lets snow slide off the house.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So there's a guy by the name of the late great Tyler Dyer.
Best thing in the world.
This thing, it slid off the house, it hit my wife. So that was the end of that.
Was she okay?
It was, she got bruised, but it was frightening too. I mean, you got all this sliding off the house, so he put this Tyler put this ice dam up here. And then, we used to get these huge icicles. Then Dougie Mercier, Tyler since passed away, so we got Dougie Mercier. And Dougie Mercier, he put a gutter in here, it's electrified. So, whatever's up here, it gets melted, it goes right down here and hits.
Beautiful.
I had Glenn put the electric wires up, but the problem with that is you've got to put them on as it snows, not after.
Oh, yeah, because it's not
Because
strong enough.
it's not strong enough,
Yeah.
and that didn't seem to work, so we took them down. But I think what we're going to do, because it works in the house in New Hampshire, we're going to get the metal pieces along the outside
Yes.
edge. Because we don't have any problems up there, and it does melt, and the snow slides off. And
Those do work.
We put a 3-season porch on, and we made sure that they put the metal edges on that, and because it's 2 stories up.
Well, where were the days when we used to like the snow on the roof for the insulation? Those days are gone. I mean, New Englanders used to use snow for insulation.
Yeah, I didn't have any problem with it, I told
Well,
you, until this year.
And what's, again, put this in the category of unintended consequences. You know, 60, 50 years ago, houses didn't have any insulation. And so your snow melted off your roof quickly, okay? Today, the houses are tight, and the snow hangs around for a long time.
Yeah, you can tell that by
Yeah.
driving around where.
You can tell which houses are well insulated.
That's
right,
correct.
by
And-
driving
and
around.
where.
Right.
Yeah.
This slate roof, well, I'll put that back up on the screen there.
You know, slate
It's
roof
so
never-
hot that the snow does not hang around. Slate attracts that sunshine heat.
Right, and so would the metal if I
Yeah.
had it on the edges.
Yeah, if you had a metal roof, it's the same
Right,
thing.
and so
yeah.
what I'm going to do is to look
But
at.
I think it's the
having-
blackness, the color.
Right, I don't have a black roof, I have white roofs that reflect the heat, so that in the summer it's not so hot, because
I
it
have a
isn't.
slate roof which lasts,
Forever.
it's older than me.
Forever.
Yeah, it will, it's
They
stone will.
used to. I had a very good friend years ago who was a roofer, and we were talking about slate roofs, and he says, "Oh, you can still get it done." He said, "But it's the number of people that know how to do slate roofing is diminishing, and it's extremely expensive." He said, "Here's the thing about a slate roof." He said, "They last forever, but they do leak." That was his comment. So,
Well, that's why you'd have to, like
They
John
never
said, the
wear
rubber
out.
roof underneath.
yeah, you have to have the membrane.
But like I said, we have the ice and water shield.
Yeah, that's what I have on mine, and I
And
know.
we had it all the way, we had him do it all the
Yep.
way up.
Yep.
Now, if he did, he did. I don't remember,
Well,
it's been 20 years.
I know mine did because
And we had 40-year shingles on, figure we weren't gonna live that long,
I
so.
watched. I stood out there all day and I watched them do it, so I know exactly what's up there.
So could you guys get over how much snow we got down Fall River? The Fall
3
River's
feet.
not going to school for the rest of the week.
They did say
30
that
inches?
there's a lot of places that when you compared the blizzard of 78, that this storm gave those areas more
More.
snow than the 78 storm. Not Chelmsford.
No, it
And
was just a small area on the South Shore. There.
right,
Yeah.
and so when, in the blizzard of 78, we lived in Norwood. That was halfway between where I worked and Glenmore.
Well, this was no blizzard of 78. I think it'd say it's the same thing, but no, it wasn't.
The blizzard of 78 was 2 lows.
How long did you lose your power for?
I didn't. In
Okay,
my,
okay.
in my,
That's it altogether.
and we
kept
had
our power.
electric everything. So with the apartment building that we were in did not lose power. Now, the prior May
Lucky.
1977, there was an ice storm.
I
We
remember
did
that.
lose power.
May 9th.
So I remember that, and there's a lot of reasons why I remember it, but there's different other things. Anyway, So we talked about the weather, we want
Hey,
people to
Sam,
be careful.
different coffee, this is Green Mountain.
It's good.
It's
I'll
a different
test it.
coffee today.
Okay, it's good. I noticed it was a little, yeah, but it's still good. Still good coffee.
I haven't been able to make it over the top, too.
We're still using your brand. That's, my wife went out and
Well, it's good stuff.
found it. Yeah, she's very appreciative of that.
Well, I like the Starbucks Verona. It's a little stronger. I think the older that I get, what happens is your taste buds begin to go, so you need more salt, you
Not
need
the
more
only
sugar.
thing that goes.
Well, we understand that. And I find that I want stronger and stronger coffee, but when I do that, I drink less and less of it because I'm not supposed to drink it at all. And so we'll see how that goes as far, I'm not gonna necessarily talk about diet. So, there's a lot of different things going on. One of the things that, for Chelmsford, and I'm certainly sure that it's for every place else, I did get
Your
my
excise tax.
excise tax bills, and those are due in March. Everybody take a look at that. Make sure that it's accurate, because there was one year where we had a trailer, and they had the value on the trailer, the assessed value on the trailer exceeded what we paid for it by a considerable amount. So we
Did you
filed.
buy the trailer new or used?
Brand new.
Okay.
And so we had all the paperwork, and so we submitted that, and we got a refund. And they adjusted it. This was a while ago. So
How much did they exceed it by?
$1,000
Oh.
plus?
Probably a typo, yeah. Yeah, but Evelyn's right. I don't care what it is, whether it's excise, property tax, look at your bill, because people aren't perfect and mistakes are made. And, make sure you check your
The city of Lowell
bills.
had my house with a fully finished attic and a fully finished cellar. And the guy had walked through the building.
The guy had,
He came through the building.
they inspected it and they still listed it that way?
Yep.
Well, he should be fired.
And that's the real estate tax, which excise tax is on your vehicles, and it depreciates rapidly. We have a number of trailers, different sizes for different reasons, and at least we have the space to store them. Everything's registered that sits in my yard, but some of the excise taxes are $5 on those trailers because
Well,
they're so old.
Here's how it works, okay, and people get a little bit confused with the excise. The excise tax bill, the basis is the manufacturer's suggested retail price. Okay, so let's say you buy a car, a brand-new car, and you pay $20,000, okay, because you got one heck of a deal from the dealer. But let's say the MSRP is $26,000. That will be the beginning basis of your excise tax. So they take the MSRP and they work
But I
backwards.
got the paperwork.
So,
I got the paperwork.
doesn't matter. The state law says it's based on MSRP, okay?
Wow.
Now, your sales tax is different, okay? I can talk about that too, because that changed, but your MSRP, however, what you will find is, it's based on the MSRP, but the very first year you have the car, if you buy the car in January, and then you get your excise tax bill a month later, it's, the number that they calculate it on isn't going to be the MSRP, because they immediately depreciate it by 20%, okay? So they start off with about a 20% reduction in the first year, and then it depreciates every year thereafter. No excise tax bill can be less than $5. That's the minimum, okay? So if you have a really old car, like I do, I have a 1965 Dodge Dart, which is valued for excise tax purposes at $190, okay? So my excise tax on that car is $5. So you've got a couple of old cars, which would be $5 as well.
Comment from the audience. It's refreshing talking about an ice dam instead of dam ice. That's from Jim.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, well, I don't
So how many
we're not gonna go in
vehicles
there.
do you have there? Looks like about 6 or 7.
Yeah, but there's trailers. And we
Oh,
also have a
okay.
trailer for the
Why
boat.
don't you have
and
your trailer registered in New Hampshire?
I don't know, probably because when we travel,
You wouldn't
It's
have
a-
any excise tax.
that's true. But we actually have a truck that is registered in New Hampshire because it sits on that property all the
stays there,
time.
right.
And I could have everything registered in New Hampshire. We just never did that. So why isn't it registered? I have no idea. We got to figure that out, and I got to talk to Glenn
There's
about
no
it.
sticker up there now, it's a lot easier.
Well, regardless of what it is, it's insured in Massachusetts because I don't think the truck is insured.
Wow.
Anyway, it's
Yeah, you don't
interesting.
you don't have to have insurance in New Hampshire.
So I'm looking to see.
No, but it's silly not to have insurance.
Oh, I agree.
So the valuation, the Acura's 5, on my
Honda.
new Honda is $25,605. That's
Okay.
the 2025 Honda.
When did you buy it?
Last June.
All right, let me see that. Okay, so,
Just in case anybody wants to know how these worked, I did bring all of mine in because we have a number of vehicles. Some of it is very interesting.
okay, but the vehicle,
Mercury.
listed for a lot more than $25,000.
Yeah, like almost, well, not quite double.
All right, so let's say
Sticker.
a year ago, this proves my point. So Evelyn has a 2025 Honda, what's the model name?
Odyssey.
Odyssey, it's a van, okay?
Yes.
And the MSRP on that was probably somewhere around
That's correct.
$49,000.
Yeah.
A year ago, but the excise bill pegs the value at 25,000, so it's not even close. So the first year, like I say, they depreciate it by, it's either 20 or 25%, and then every year thereafter it goes down. So,
I just thought it was an interesting conversation.
if you traded that van in right now, you'd get more than $25,000 on a trade.
True, but I also have
Okay.
12,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
Already.
That's okay.
I have a
That's
7-month-old
nothing.
vehicle,
That-
and I've
that's
got all this,
So,
there's a lot of miles on it, but it's
Yeah.
almost all highway driving, too.
Yeah.
I just find a lot of this stuff interesting, and also over time, the state legislature, local governments in Massachusetts have actually discussed depreciating your excise tax more gradually, less, so that there's more income locally, because the excise tax comes back to the cities and towns. And so I thought that was a kind of an interesting.
Well, let's step
discussion.
let's step into the Wayback Machine for a minute. A lot of people won't know this because they're not old enough. But one of the things that Proposition 2.5 did, in addition, the main thing, of course, was limiting the amount of increase over the prior year's tax levy for real estate. It also limited your excise tax to 2.5%. So before Prop 2.5, in 1979, your excise tax rate was 6.6%. A lot of people forget that. So that means, Evelyn, that if we still had that, that number would be around $1,300,
Yeah.
not $640. Okay, so your Prop 2.5 substantially, it cut your excise tax bill by about 60%. So people don't remember that, but I do, because
Comment from the audience,
yeah.
Chuck, I might go it over here. Mr. Chase, the Slant 6 engine
Yes,
was a workhorse, one of the most reliable engines ever made.
I have one on my 1965 Dart, and that is absolutely correct. The engine was way overbuilt. What I think a lot of people don't know is it's a truck engine. It was designed as a truck engine. So I have a truck engine in a vehicle that weighs about 2,700 pounds. So I don't think that engine is ever going to be overworked. You know, that's exactly right. Those things go 400,000 or 500,000 miles without any problems.
Now, Evelyn, last week we discovered how to do remote start on your new car.
Yeah, I gotta play
Have
with
you
that.
tried it since?
No.
I told you she's too cheap to run the gas.
I use it occasionally on my Impala. I have it, and my wife has it, but she never uses it on her Honda.
Anyway, since we were talking about
Yeah.
the state, I had forwarded an article off of Facebook, excuse me, from the Massachusetts Fiscal Alliance at the State House. And Beacon Hill is now admitting that $1 billion in Massachusetts safe spending was unnecessary. Can you imagine?
Do they say where the spending was?
It was funded because they were funding bloated marketing and administrative costs.
Gee, what a shock.
And the reason they don't want the audit is because then now you have this statement. Lawmakers approve this billion-dollar spending year after year, and families are only hearing about inefficiencies after their electric bills went up.
Okay.
And by the way, the electric bill, if your electric bill goes down, that's not a gift. You're going to pay for it later.
Right.
Because we had
It's a scam. The whole thing is a scam.
Right. So there was some kind of a message that came across my home telephone line that basically said that your electric bill is going to be decreased. It's going to be a deferred payment.
Deferred payment.
Deferred
A
doesn't mean
democratic decrease.
eliminated. Pardon me?
A democratic decrease.
Yeah.
Well, it's
We're going to defer it. You pay for it later.
And they were going to charge interest on that, but they changed their minds.
Yeah,
on
and they
that.
talked about that too.
Yeah.
And we won't be charging any interest.
Same thing on your natural gas bill.
Right. And so there's a whole lot of stuff going on.
It's a scam. The state takes a quote-unquote climate change or Green New Deal position that fossil fuels are bad. And the Commonwealth of Massachusetts is going to do everything they can to get off of fossil fuels. And one of the ways they're going to do that is they're going to surcharge your electric and your natural gas bills and make it so that it's so expensive that people will want to convert to electricity.
Except that they don't understand. Electricity still
Of course. It is a scam.
generated
It is a total
by something.
scam, okay? And I don't even get me started on this. I mean,
Well, I wasn't trying
the
to.
the science is shaky at best, but the problem with the climate thing is the people who believe fervently in all of this anthropogenic global warming and so forth. It isn't just their scientific conclusion. It has become a religion. People espouse this with the fervor of a religion, which is why you can't discuss it with them, okay? Because you can't debate religion. If a person is a Catholic and they believe very strongly in the Catholic Church, you're not going to discuss that with them. You're never going to convince them that it's anything but that.
Well,
and that's the way it is with the global warming crowd. It's
So
a religion.
We had
Yeah.
a friend of ours, well, a friend of my husband's, that lived in another country,
Yep.
and brilliant man,
Scientist.
doctor.
Okay. PhD doctor.
No,
Oh, a medical doctor. Okay.
But just like Glenn, even though Glenn has a PhD and he has it in applied physics, I mean, you can discuss a lot of things. He isn't. It's not the blinders. There's a lot of topics.
Mhm.
Doesn't mean that he's an authority on everything. So making all those disclaimers. So this particular individual had decided to debate the climate control. This is quite a number of years ago. And the country asked him to leave because it did not reflect, when they got wind of it, it did not reflect the policy that that country had.
Censorship.
So that censorship in its true form.
Mhm.
The other thing that happens is if you do, like in this country currently, if you do not agree with somebody, instead of debating or having a discussion on those issues, they name call. They call you all kinds of things,
Which means you've won the argument.
I know that, but the thing is, it's very frustrating because I'd like to have more of an exchange of ideas so I can understand why they're thinking the way they are. And is
Brandon
this
Howard's husband chases me around the internet. Sticks and stones will break my bones. Evelyn, this comment's for you. Evelyn, you should be able to easily get 200,000 miles out of that Honda.
Oh, absolutely.
Of course.
How much
I got
did you get?
257,000 miles out of my other Honda.
Yeah.
And if it hadn't been for my husband actually wanting to, I think he really wanted to get rid of it. But he got underneath it because
It's not safe. It's all rotted, the frame.
no, the frame was fine.
Well, I'll bet you it was.
Well, the frame was fine. But
You
the
know-
problem is that he noticed that I was going to need a new exhaust system. He fixed it, and then when he got underneath, he noted how much rust was there, so that I would need a new, what do they call it, the gas tank, and there was a couple of other things, and he said, it's time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so I almost got to 300,000 on that, and if it hadn't been for him, and if I had ever garaged it, I'd still be driving it. So
The key is, in the wintertime, the key is getting it in the car wash and getting the undercarriage.
getting all the salt off your car,
Washed.
because that's what corrodes
And you're
the
still going to have
material.
Yeah, so there's the car wash on 110 in Chelmsford. They have a monthly deal. So for $35 a month, okay, and that is they have like 4 levels of car wash. I think the cheapest is, $12, and then the next one up is 15, and then 20 and 20, that kind of thing. So the cheapest one that does the undercarriage is the $15 one. Okay, so for $35 a month, you buy a subscription for your car, and for the $15 one, which gets the undercarriage, okay? And you can take that car in every day if you want. It's a wonderful deal, okay? So I have that for both cars, $70 a month, both cars, and they get washed probably 3 or 4 times a week in the wintertime. And you can't beat the deal, all right? The DPW director, Christine Clancy in Chelmsford, told me, this was 3 or 4 years ago, when they started to use the brine on the roads as opposed to the rock salt. She told me that the brine solution is more corrosive to the vehicles than the rock salt. So she said, whenever you're out there and they've put the brine down and you get the slush, she says, get the car to the car wash right away and get that stuff off
Well,
the
in Lowell,
undercarriage.
on this side of the river, we
Yeah.
have 2 car washes. We got one on Plain Street, that one's older than dirt.
Yeah, that's a good one.
My wife loves going there
Yeah,
because they
they're-
do the inside.
That's a great, I like that place.
They
And-
wash the windows on the inside,
they
they
will,
vacuum it out.
Right. But you can also buy more services. They will detail your car for you as well. Yeah, I've used them. Yeah, they're
And then
good.
there's the one on Roger Street, the bottom of the hill, just before the old railroad, just before the Concord River. That place is fabulous. They do it.
Okay, I haven't ever
They only
been,
do the exterior though.
I haven't been to that one.
And they have the same deal. You can pay once a month and you can go
It's-
every day.
It's great. I mean, if I pay $35 and I get my car washed every day, that's like $1 a car wash. You can't beat it, right? Of course, people don't take it in every day, but like I say, this time of year, I'll do it 2 or 3 times during the week. And, once you've done the car 3 times in the month, you've more than got your money back. you
Comment
know.
from the audience, speaking of global warming, no January thaw
No,
No,
that we
there wasn't.
usually get.
and that's why people had problem with the ice.
Are we headed to an ice age? Remember the 70s? That's from Bart. Thank you, Bart.
Well,
Right, well, I've even said that, is that we're
coming off
getting
an ice-
colder.
We're coming off an ice
Right,
age.
and once you come off one, you go back on one, because
Yeah.
there is that cycle that's out there.
Well, we have a motto next door, nobody gets out of here alive.
Oh, that's good, I like that.
We're all gonna go to heaven someday.
It's
Speaking of which,
inevitable.
what do you think about Guthrie? They took some of the searchers, they sent the searchers back home. And,
Yeah, I heard that. They find anything?
no,
They said they found another glove.
still came up empty.
But look, it's 4 weeks. I mean, what's the likelihood that she's still alive?
It's highly unlikely she was alive the first
If
week.
they
but
don't, if they
it's
don't get you
very
in,
unfortunate,
yeah,
very
if they
sad.
don't get you within 3 days of a kidnapping, that's a problem.
That's why they're not hearing from it.
Mother Nature will send an alert once the weather warms up out there, and they'll find her quickly. And then we got a comment from the audience, brine, rock salt, when put on the streets, always ends up in the rivers, streams. Probably not good for the environment.
That's
from
true.
Jay.
Well, it isn't just that it's not good for the environment, it's not good for us. Years ago, and
Doug, it's not good for
there
the roads.
used to be the water department, and this is in Chelmsford, I don't know if Lowell issued it, and that, but there was an issue with sodium in the water, the salt in the water, because it was raising people's blood pressure. We'll put that in quotes, because everything is relative. with
Everything
regard-
raises your blood pressure.
So we would get instead of the notifications like we get now with the PFAS, we would get it with sodium, and they would be monitoring the percent content. Then you had the Stormwater Act pass, and now all of a sudden, oh, we don't have an issue with that. So it would be interesting to know what you can believe from the government, any
Not
government
much.
for that, because people are very short-sighted.
Not much.
And speaking of governments, because we were talking about a number of things, which I want to get to State of the Union, and there's a couple of other things on my list. But one of the things that came across yesterday when I was reading, I was very, very surprised at, because you have a lot of individuals and groups within this country, the United States, that want to go to more national health care. There are some downfalls, pitfalls, and stupid things that they want to do. For instance, they want to have only a one insurance type of care for everybody.
Single payer.
Yes, but in other countries that have socialized medicine, they have alternatives for people that want it if they
Right.
can afford it. But I read this article about Canada and how many hundreds of thousands of people are leaving Canada to go to other countries to get health care because their health care is so much in the red. They are now authorizing euthanasia. So if you have...
Oh, I hadn't heard that. Canada is?
Yes. If you
Oh,
have...
That's not good.
and I checked it. I wanted to make sure
Make sure that's accurate, right?
that it wasn't something. I wanted it accurate. So the question I asked, and I just did this now, is it true that Canadian healthcare system promotes euthanasia? Canada's health system has legalized, and in some respects, normalized medical assistance in dying, with over 5% of all natural deaths in 2023 occurring through euthanasia.
Do they say when that went into effect?
Legalized in
There
2016
you go.
for terminal cases. It was expanded in 2021 to include
Raymond Leavitt, City Life.
individuals whose death is not reasonably
Hey, Ray,
foreseeable,
right there, thanks.
allowing those with incurable, grievous, and irremediable conditions to seek.
Hey, Ev, can you go let Ray in?
Yes, I can. And so there's a lot of ethical concerns with regard to this because in the United States, it's not legal. It is in Maine, by the way. If anybody wants to die, they can go to Maine.
I did not know
I have to
that.
go let one of our guests in.
So euthanasia is legal in Maine? I didn't know that.
For terminal patients.
Okay, yep.
It also is legal, I think, if you look it up in Utah, but I'm not sure.
Well, the
It's legal in
biggest,
some states,
the biggest
but-
problem with the socialized medicine, and I know people from Canada and also the UK that I've discussed this with, they say, they don't complain so much about the quality of the medical care. They say it takes a long time to get your care, especially for elective type
Well, when it's the
procedures.
government's job, everything comes at the speed of government.
Well, that's true. That's exactly right.
Because I've been asking since I've been a hobbyist in this media deal, who got fired?
No one.
Did anybody get fired? Nobody gets fired.
No.
No matter how bad they screw it up, nobody gets fired.
Once in a great while, they will fire somebody to be able
Only if they steal.
to be able to say, to be able to say that they fired somebody. But you're right. Okay, that's usually what it is.
It's not for incompetence, it's
Yeah,
for stealing.
It's for theft, right? Exactly. But the problem in Canada, I've been told, is a lack of medical personnel. And when you have socialized, government-controlled medicine, they put a cap on how much a doctor can earn, and that depresses the number of people that want to become doctors. So you have a shortage of medical personnel, and that makes the problem worse. So,
Well, anyway,
but anyway, I was just saying.
I'm back.
I was talking more about the socialized medicine.
Thanks, Jeff.
so I don't know what you said because I wasn't here, but there's a lot of problems with it, and there are problems in this country with it, with the way that they've set the system up. And that's why they're trying to control more of the Medicaid stuff because there's so many people on it. The government is subsidizing that, and because they are, and they're not tracking, just like with the fraud with the SNAP programs and everything else, they're not auditing things, which will lead me into the next topic that I want to discuss. And because of all of those things, that's why the costs are going up. And if you have Congress that isn't going to take a look, and they should be doing it rather than just saying, oh, the Republicans are bad and the Democrats aren't doing this. It's like small children saying, going back and forth with each other that they're not following the rules of the game. And then no game ever gets played. So you have people that pretty much are complaining about things but never trying to find a solution for anything. And if you keep enough people,
Well,
how do I want to put it? If you keep enough people that are dependent upon you, you keep getting elected because they want to stay dependent.
That's the goal of most politicians, is.
Because they want to get reelected.
Yeah, two goals. Number one, stay in office. Number two, create dependency.
Got two comments from the audience. Listening to the Democrats will certainly raise your blood pressure. And the problem with Canada is too many Canadians. How's that Mexican vacation working for you? That's from Bart.
Well, I don't think
That was
this-
quite
I don't think there's too
I
many.
don't think
Nobody's
there's
going to
too
go to
many-
Mexico this winter.
Well, you're not going to go down there because of the cartels, but and your safety issues. We'll see what happens during spring break. The thing is, there's not too many Canadians. It's that their system doesn't work, and people are turning a blind eye
There aren't
to
enough
that.
doctors, that's the problem.
Well, that's what the problem is in this country.
Right, but, and. while
'Cause you got too many regulations.
While you were out, what I said about Canada was that, because I have friends that are Canadian citizens, this is what they tell me. Yeah, we have the socialized medicine, but the problem is, for many things, you have to wait to get the service. And the problem is a shortage of medical personnel because they cap the salaries that these people can make. And so it doesn't lessen the cost of becoming a doctor, okay, but they cap the salary so fewer people go into the profession. So they have a shortage of medical personnel, so that's a huge problem. In this country, one of the premises of Obamacare was that everybody is going to be included in the system. So the idea initially was all these young people who are healthy and don't get sick are going to be enrolled and they're going to pay into the system and it'll work. The problem is that's not what happened. And that's why they initially said, you're mandated to do it, and if you don't do it, you're going to get a penalty. We're going to charge you for not enrolling.
Right,
Because
and-
that's what the premise was, but then they found out that a lot of the young people, they opted out of the system, so they didn't get a lot of revenue in, and that's why, one reason why the cost has skyrocketed for the government-provided health care, because not enough well people are paying into the system to subsidize the sick people. That's
Right,
the
and we
problem.
could draw a comparison between that and Social Security.
Well, it's
But
the
there
same
were-
thing,
There
right.
were other details here that
Yeah.
people may not be aware of, as far as the socialized medicine that's in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And what they have done is they have expanded their euthanasia policy
I did not know
from
that.
terminal patients to anybody really that wants it. And
Is there an
since-
age limit or anything?
No. Well, I would assume they've got legal guardianship type of thing.
Yeah.
And then there's other issues which, this could be a whole topic for an hour.
Yeah, we'd have to research that, because I don't know anything about it.
Right, but I'm only reading what I just asked my telephone. And so since 2016, I'm now trying to summarize what it is I see here. By 2025, there were almost 70,000 recorded deaths by euthanasia
In Canada.
in Canada. And in Quebec, the number of deaths in Quebec, which I would have to look up separately because they don't have that in this research answer, reached 7.2%. So 7.2% of all deaths in Quebec
Were euthanasia.
were euthanasia.
Oh, my Lord.
And they want to expand it to anybody that has a mental illness. If you have a mental illness, you have the right to die. So everybody should be thinking about
Yeah, who's gonna make that decision?
the long-term effects of this.
Who's gonna make that
And
decision?
when I read the article, people that were body shamed, that they were too heavy and all this other stuff, were debating on committing euthanasia because of the social pressures. So it might give you, I would hope, a moment to think maybe about the future of health insurance in this country and where it is going. And
That's a slippery slope, in my
my
opinion.
my mother is going to be 105. She had some friends that I think they were in Montreal, and they had some health issues. And he came into this country so he could have open heart surgery because the wait was so long, he would have died. He would have, the system would have outlived him. But his wife didn't when she found out she had breast cancer, and she had to wait and wait and wait, and she died before she was able to get any care. And we don't have that
It's
issue.
starting to happen here. You can't call a doctor. Well, I just got an ailment with my leg. Okay, you call a leg doctor. The leg doctor won't see you for 3 to 6 months.
I understand how this works. I have personal.
So it's happening in
Experience
America.
with
Don't
regard to
say
that.
it's not happening in America. It's happening here.
Yes, it is, but not to this extent yet. And they always wanted
Waiting
to,
3 to 6 months when your leg doesn't work, that's not okay. Oh, we'll see you in 3 months, Ev.
well, that's why you
Sit-
have
go sit
physician's
home.
assistants and medical assistants
That's
and,
right.
and nurse practitioners
That's
and
right.
all these other things,
Well,
because
well, go
now
to the-
you've expanded
If
your
it's that
care.
bad, go to the emergency room. Doc, I just need you to look at my goddamn leg. That's all I need, Doc. No, go to the emergency room if you can't wait. Terrible.
Well, that's what the guy told my mother. You have an issue, don't come here, go to the emergency room. My father spent an awful lot of time in the emergency room because my mother had so many aches and pains.
But the problem is if you have a shortage of medical personnel, you can't force people to become doctors, right? I mean, people have to make that decision.
So, Ev, when we go to break, you got a bottle of water there, spill it on the table, take a napkin there, and there's somebody spilled some coffee
Where?
on your left hand. You can see this coffee spilled there.
I don't see it. Do you see it?
You'll see it. Okay.
I'll just wipe up whatever it was
Okay.
that you had. But I sent you guys, a number of other articles, and one of the things that I thought was interesting was the reaction to, because we're going to run out of time here, to the State of the Union address. And I watched part of it. You said you watched all
Watch
of
the
it.
whole thing.
And what was your
Not
take?
interested in watching excerpts and having it spun by a bunch of pundits. You watch the whole
What channel did
thing.
you watch?
Huh?
What channel did you watch it on?
I didn't. I watched it on YouTube, Forbes.
I watched it on 44, C-SPAN.
Yeah. and you
No
get-
interruptions, no graphics,
that-
no
and that's-
comments, no nothing.
And that is the right way to do it, okay? No, you're perfectly capable of listening to the speech and understanding what was said. You don't need some talking head to tell you what he said and what it meant, okay?
I agree.
I thought, as we all know, President Trump can be very erratic when he speaks and jump from topic to topic and so forth. Even when he has a prepared script, he goes off script. This particular speech, I was actually kind of surprised because he didn't do that. I mean, he did a little bit, but for Trump, he was very disciplined in his speech. He largely stayed on topic. He largely didn't veer off. He was very, very focused, and he looked better than I've seen him. He didn't look tired. He looked rested. Okay. And he was very well focused. And I thought it was probably, and I'm not talking about the content. I mean, look, especially in Massachusetts, there's a zillion Trump haters out there, and they're just going to hate anything he does. So forget what he said, the content. I'm talking about the way he delivered the speech, okay, and his tone and everything was very, very controlled for Trump, okay? It was, and I think that that contributed to the effectiveness of the speech. I was afraid that he would go off on the Supreme Court justices.
He was controlled in a lot of things, which I thought was
in my opinion,
unique.
would have been totally inappropriate, even though everyone forgets that Obama did it in one of his State of the Union speeches. He attacked the court right there, but that was okay for him. But I was afraid he would do that. He did not. He mentioned it. He talked about the tariff decision. He said it was an unfortunate ruling and it's too bad. But that's really about all he said. Okay, he didn't confront or attack the justices, which I was very, very glad that he didn't do that, because that to me is, you don't do that. I don't care what the deal is. You just don't do that, all right? And so that's just an example of the control
Well,
that
Sam,
he
I would like to
exercised.
know on this tariff business, it's kind of like you're standing at the stove and you're cooking stuff, and they say, oh, you can't use that front burner, Sam. You got to use the back burner.
That's pretty much what they told him.
And it's like,
You can't go in this
Excuse
direction, but there's
me?
6 other ways to do it.
tell me what I did left here I should have done right.
It was well, I actually agree with the court's ruling, and a lot of my friends
Oh, that's good. Well, so
gonna
why
get-
did they do
They're
that?
going to get mad at me for saying that, but because it was a very narrow ruling. What they did, and the 3 justices that voted on this, what they did was they looked at the actual IEPA law, the regulation, and it was a narrow ruling, which essentially said, under this particular ruling that the president chose to use as a basis for invoking the tariffs, he doesn't have the authority, okay? And then if you go and you read Kavanaugh's dissent, he goes into a long discussion about all of the legislative authority that the president does have and has had for, in some cases, 45 years to invoke tariffs, okay? So, John, you're right. The ruling was, under this particular law, can't do it, there's no
Hey,
authority
can
to
you go
do it.
get Sam?
Pardon?
Can you go get Sidney?
Oh, okay, yeah.
See,
But,
everybody's early.
but there are many other, there are many other laws that he can use to continue his tariff regime. So that's really what the court said. Okay, very narrow ruling. So I'll get, Sidney, okay. I'll get
Sidney.
So one of the things I sent you, John, and I think it's on text.
Oh,
And
text ain't working today.
none of the texts are working? Great. I wonder if I sent it to you.
I'll look at Messenger.
Let me see if I can. Let's see, save.
We'll do it during the break.
Well, no, I want to do it now, so I'm sending it to you now
On Messenger?
on Messenger. Let's see
Okay.
if it goes.
Yeah, I can't put any of the text up starting Monday. I don't know what happened, new software, whatever, but ain't working.
Well, that's okay, because most of the stuff I sent you, I also sent to Messenger, including the poster for Lowell General with the daffodils. I made sure it went in 2 areas, so. And I also sent you a picture
This
this
is what
morning.
you
and
just
yesterday.
sent me now.
Yes. So, most of the television, or at least the more conservative TV programs, are saying that no Democrat stood when Trump said, "Stand if you agree. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens." But Fetterman did stand, and he stood through several other things that
Sidney, thanks
would
for getting back to
require
early.
people
Just
to
take a seat.
stand in or clap.
Thanks.
So I just want to make sure that the record is straight with regard to that, because sometimes we like to go to different extremes when they say nobody did. And there were many people, some of them, that stood at different points in time, but they were just collectively,
Evelyn, but
putting
they've been
them in
doing
one
that for every
basket.
president since I watched the State of the Union.
pardon me?
When Jimmy Carter was the president,
Yeah?
the Republicans didn't stand.
Oh, it's been going on for
Yeah,
years.
so this is nothing new.
It's awful.
But it was what they were asked to stand for. And then,
Trump would do well to tell, look, are you guys Americans or are you Democrats?
Well, that's pretty much what he said.
That's what you got to say to the Republicans, too.
That's pretty much
Well,
what he said.
I'm talking about something very specific here, and you're making it general. So
Well,
my
because I'm a
specific,
general and you're a sergeant.
not quite, but
Close enough.
but the point I'm trying to make is, there's many people out there making
Maybe she's
comments.
an admiral.
I
Same
don't know
thing.
if I'd want to be Navy, but the Marines aren't so bad, but they're part of the Navy.
Oh, the Navy's the best service, there's no question about it.
Does
So-
the Marines have admirals?
No, the Marines
No.
are part of the Navy.
The Marines are part of the Navy,
I know,
but their rank structure is similar to the Army
Yes, they have generals.
nomenclature. Yes.
So you could be a general Marine.
There are Marine
Yes.
generals, yes.
Anyway, the point I wanted to make was, Fetterman stood, there were others, but they didn't document who they were at odd times.
Elizabeth Warren stood up for the no insider trading statement. I almost fell over when I saw that, you know.
But basically, they
I mean,
probably were
there
told
isn't
not
anybody
to.
that hates Trump more than Elizabeth Warren, and she stood up and I thought, wow, that's something.
I don't understand this text. I'm not
Yeah.
worried about them standing. I'm worried about them having big frogs on the stage.
Big
Good
what?
grief.
Frogs.
Frogs.
So that's because some of the Democrats that did not show up actually had their own events. And some of it was really stupid.
Was any
But-
of it covered? I didn't see any of
Yes.
that on the media.
Bart's wondering
Yes, it
about the
was.
homemade goodies. Yes, and I already consumed it. It was delicious.
Who covered it?
NBC, ABC,
In
CBS,
any kind
CNN,
of, in any kind of depth?
even Fox had it on,
I didn't.
of what they were doing.
But
I
they have
missed it.
their side comments.
I missed it.
So they had that, and I don't know whether or not the Five did it. And I don't watch Gutfield late night because I'm asleep.
It's too late.
Well, anyway, that's beside the point. So, but I wanted to make the point that some of them did stand at different times.
They
even though
did.
people are kind of putting it all in one basket here, and
Yeah.
you need to be at least fair about it. But
Like I
they
said,
all should have stood with that one comment. And then Schumer had some comments about it, which was another word salad as to why they didn't do it, which I thought was kind of stupid. So, I mean,
well,
everybody needs to do their research.
That guy should have retired 10 years ago. I mean,
He just wants to get reelected.
his brain-
This is the
his
only way,
brain is
because they've
fried.
changed all their
Yeah.
arguments. And we don't need to go down that rabbit hole either. So, we do have our guests here, which will
Good.
join us at 7 o'clock, apparently. And there was the only other thing to touch upon is the fact that in Massachusetts, you have a state auditor that actually wants to audit and wants to fulfill what it is that the people voted for, and you have an attorney general that wants to dismiss it. So I find that,
And we have drunk driving state policemen who want to get away with it.
among other, there's a lot of stuff going on.
This mic doesn't work, John.
And here's another one. And so when you have at one article that states that there's $1 billion that has been overspent, and then you have an auditor that wants to audit, has already found $12
There we go.
million in fraud, and now you have an attorney general that wants to kind of dismiss it, and everybody's just looking the other way. I think that is, that's incredible.
Hey, if you got $1 billion and you didn't, and you found it without an audit, imagine what they'd find with an audit, right?
Well,
So-
it is our money, and
Yes,
we
it is.
need to know where it's going.
I would think so.
So, anyway,
Hooray for Diana DiZoglio.
oh,
So
yeah.
we're going to go to break. And
I
we're
actually
gonna-
voted
Yep.
for her.
Yep, everybody stay with us. We'll be back at the 7 o'clock mark. Thank you.
There we go.
These are all on. That, Facebook is still on.
Yeah, these are all on
Okay,
too.
guys.
Here we go, kids. I'll fix the names.
Welcome back. I'm Evelyn Thoren. I am your host for the next 58 minutes, roughly. And Sam Chase is my co-host this morning. John McDonough is behind the camera. And we have two guests this morning. We have Sidney Liang, who's a city councilor in Lowell, and Ray Leavitt. And thank you very much, guys, for getting up extra special early.
It's great to
so
be
we
here.
can have
Thank
a
you for the
discussion with regard to what it is you want to do. Ray, in case people are not aware, Ray is the great uncle to 4 of my grandchildren. So we are related indirectly,
Indirectly, but yes,
but we are related, and that's
we meet at dance
recitals, family events.
Yes,
Yeah, when my son and daughter-in-law get together, and it's kind of nice. Maybe we'll have more to talk about in the future.
let's hope.
Yeah, you never know. And Sydney, I think the last time that you were on with us before the election
Yes.
was on
Yeah,
a Thursday.
busy
We
running,
talked
yeah,
about things, and we
yeah.
talked about your involvement in the community and why you wanted to be, a city councilor. But let's start with Ray. One of the things that you came to talk about was what was going on at Lowell General, and maybe because I did ask your wife Paula to come on to talk about it, and I did ask your sister Mary Bennett to come on and talk about it, but they looked at me like,
They graciously volunteered me.
yes. If Ray's coming, he
That
can
sounds
handle
like
it.
Mary.
And we'll work that out
That's
at
right.
some point in time. So why don't
So my niece Molly is the president of the Lowell General Hospital Auxiliary. My sister Mary was the previous president, as was my wife Paula. And they do a lot of good work for the hospital. Their focus is Lowell General. In the past, they've procured an isolette for the infant unit, a couple of recumbent bicycles for the cardiac care unit. I know they just acquired a defibrillator for the emergency room. And so they're focused on helping the hospital meet the needs of the people of Lowell. On, I think it is March 18th, March 19th, they're going to have Daffodil Day. Basically, they're going to sell daffodils and Easter baskets at the lobbies at Lowell General main campus and at the Saints campus. And all the proceeds from the sale will go to Team Walk and to help people suffering with cancer in the greater Lowell area. So I'm sure you're all familiar with Team Walk. It's a great activity, and it's an opportunity for us to do something and to beautify your home with a bunch of daffodils or a basket of daffodils. So you can order them in advance by contacting my sister Mary, or and pick them up that day at either lobby. They also offer a thing called Flowers of Hope or something like that. And for $25, they will deliver a basket of daffodils or a bunch of daffodils to a patient in the hospital. So if you just want to make a cash donation and have them delivered to brighten somebody's day in the hospital, you can do that. So just reach out to Mary Bennett P at hotmail.com.
Now, how long has Molly been in her position there?
Oh, God, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, she's a lovely girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's not coming up too much on the different ways, so we can put this up on the screen for some particular reason. So you have this poster. I will take a picture of this, and I'm going to send it to John so he can put it up, because sometimes at 20 past he will have some announcements to make, and we can put that up, and we can have that up for the next several weeks, because you said, March 19th
yes.
is the Daffodil Day at Lowell General Hospital. They also have a gift area, right?
There's a gift shop.
There's a gift shop
Yeah,
there.
that's no longer run by the auxiliary. The hospital wanted to put in a
More retail
prescription.
space?
No, not a prescription plan, pharmacy.
Oh, so it took
So
the
that-
place
so-
of the
so,
gift shop?
Yeah, well, the auxiliary wasn't really qualified to run a pharmacy. So,
Yeah, well,
so,
Well, that's, yes.
that's a good, that's a good thing.
That is a good thing.
So, the hospital took it over and they put the pharmacy in and the gift shop.
So Sydney, you were sworn in last month, because we're
Yes.
still in February, so you were sworn in
I know,
January.
it seems so long.
And, yeah,
You regret that decision. Oh, boy.
that's okay. Time has a way of going by very fast. Maybe it goes by slowly, day to day, but when you take a look out there, it goes by very fast. I mean, I find it very difficult to believe I'm going to be 75 this year. So, I mean, that's one of those things, and I'm
Yeah, it's
sure
just a
we can
number.
all look at that and look back and go, where did the time ever go? So, you were more of a community, a person that was involved in community. You still are.
Yes.
You didn't give up any of those
No.
positions.
No.
So you're still doing all of that. You've only had a few meetings. Was it what you expected, being on the city council?
Be careful.
Is this live recording
Yes.
again? I would say 50%, 50-50. I mean, no, not expected 50%, and the other 50%, yeah. The discussion, the topics, really, fluid in terms of, getting all the support, working, into the systems a little bit harder than I thought. And I'm assuming it's going to get harder. But I was assuming that when you're working for the community for so long, that all these topics and subjects and, people's frustration and struggle should be more of a partnership with all, and everybody, including community members, community leaders, helping each other. Well, once you become a politician, that's not the case. So I'm like, okay, because whatever you do now, they look at you with a little bit differently. It's
A lot differently.
a lot differently, even though the end result, personally, it's the same. So basically, you're doing it for free, you're helping the community, but people seem to look at it a little bit differently, and it's at times it's more like, oh, I put you there, and you owe me, or something like that. Or like if I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, it'll say you're Republican, and Republican and Democrat, and they would say, oh, you're changing party now, or oh, you like him now, or you like her now, you like that group now. I'm like, no, I did that before, and I'm not going to stop. I told people that. I'm like, what I did before, I'm not going to change people, group, or I'm not going to, get away from different groups.
Stay true to yourself and your principles, right?
Yes, and
And
that's.
I tell people all the time, because I was a selectman in Chelmsford many years ago, and I said, people can support you, they can love you while you're running, and you think you're in great shape. The minute you make the first decision, half the people hate you. And if you can't tolerate that, then don't run for the office, because you've got to have an extremely thick skin, okay? And to the extent that people don't have the thick skin, that's where they get into trouble, because now they try to play the games, they try to play this one against that one. Please, you can't do that. Whatever you ran on, you stick to it, unless you get new information, then of course you can change your mind. But, stay true to yourself. Stay true to yourself in that job. You got 2 years, and, if you do the right thing and you want to be reelected, you'll get reelected. But I know you won't play the games.
Yeah, thank you, John, for inviting
won't.
me, and I needed this advice like
Yeah,
that.
believe me.
Once in a while, you need that. You need somebody to tell you, stay true to yourself.
Absolutely.
And I tell my team that too. Give me a call. Let me know. Hey, you go left a little, you go right a little. Let me know, because I don't want to change. I want it to be, the same.
Right.
As the person before and after, and so. Thank you, and it's that kind of reminder. Just keep keep me going because sometimes there's so many voices.
Call me anytime you want a pep talk. I'll be glad to give it to you.
Definitely.
Sydney, the hot topic in town right now is the senior center.
Yes, sir.
What are you hearing on the street since you walked out of that meeting? You get any feedback from the old timers on the street about how they feel about the senior center? And if you aren't, that's
No,
okay.
it's as you know, I'm a community person, so community people talk a lot about the senior
Yes, they
center
do.
in terms of like. So my view of that is just like what Sam was saying too, is that I'm a community person and they like to have that place as theirs as the cities, and at the same time that thing come up again where like after 20 years it should belong to the city. No, I'm not a legal person, I'm not a lawyer, and
That's
so
a point in your favor.
yeah, and I'm like, okay, and I said in my in my speech that night too, and that we used to have like a handshake. It's all good.
It's a
Our
deal. We
word
got
is
a
our
deal.
word.
Yep, we got a deal.
Yeah, we got a deal, and now even a deal is written in the exhibit, under the footnote clearly, after 20 years, gifted back to the city.
Yeah.
And so you can pick and choose whatever you want, and if you know me, you know me. Where I'm like, I told my, colleague too. I said, it's hard for me, and there's nothing in me in terms of like push myself to vote to at least another 15 years, and I dig deep, but it didn't come out because I'm not as a community person, and your words mean something. I know you go to court, I know you're gonna challenge, and people are gonna say this and that, but that was your word, and and I do hope, I do hope that maybe the the LLC really give back to the city, and they're working with the city for a long time. They have a lot of business with the city, and and I think they got back what they put into it. So why why
How do you
wanna-
think the administration feels about this?
I'm not sure, but that night wasn't really a good night for all of us. I mean, it was 5-5, so it was evenly, because 5 yes and 5 no, and
Sam, give him another microphone, will you?
maybe I was too far.
No, just take that one. Sam, can you give him the other microphone?
Which one?
One right in front of you, because
Oh,
he put
This
new
one.
batteries
Okay,
in
yeah,
there.
he did put new batteries in here, so
see,
you should be okay.
Yeah, I got you. See, I'm telling you, I'm talking till the battery runs out.
That's okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I still say 50-50 because I do agree that we want to, they want to put it behind us, but it's not how I brought up, and I just can't go that way, and I don't know how I can do it, but I can't. I just can't.
Well, you had a clause in there that basically said that it's supposed to turn over if there's anything, it depends on if it says shall, and then the question becomes if it's at the discretion of the city council or the city manager
Evan, you
as
may
to
or may
change
not
it.
know, they've been talking about this for more than 6 months.
I
In
understand that,
closed
but I'm
doors, in
just,
closed door meetings, and Sidney just got there, and expecting him to know all this good stuff is just a surprise.
right, but based upon what he said, I'm just responding. And it's very similar to when I was first on the school committee in Chelmsford in '98, and we voted to, when Bernie Lynch was there, for land to put the police station on, and he said, if we do that, then the school will trade, so that the police station, the old police station would revert to the school department in exchange. And I think I was the secretary of the school committee and wrote it down. And at some point, he decided that the sewer department was going to get the building that was on the old police site that's on North Road. And I went in open session to the select board and basically said, you told us this. do I need to get the minutes out?
I
He was not
remember
happy
that.
with me.
Nope.
But that was the way it was stated. So you have whatever is stated, and then you have the question, can you negotiate it? And I think that's what you're up against right now, to be able to do that. So, Ray, you were here for the Irish celebration. I wore green on your behalf. You've got
Thank
your
you for
green
that.
tie on.
Wait, how do you like that?
What?
See, I should have done that. And I'm the Irishman at the table.
Oh, no, I have Irish in my
Okay.
background.
Everybody's Irish this time of year.
No, I actually do. My grandmother's name was Grady.
Yeah, great.
Maiden name. So you sent all of this. Hey, at least he was able to see this.
Wow.
I couldn't open it up.
So,
Now, what's this?
This is one of the attachments that Ray sent in order to tell us what it was that was going to happen.
so you don't need all of that. I mean, that's great. That's
You have
great.
that?
Yes.
So let me take a
Oh,
picture of
good.
it, and I'm gonna
Okay.
send that.
That's good.
So, I'm a member of Lowell Irish. Lowell Irish is going to celebrate its 43rd annual Irish Cultural Week, beginning on March 8th. And as is our tradition, the week will kick off with an opening mass at St. Patrick's Church. And it's quite an undertaking. It's a 10 o'clock mass, but at 9:30 we
We've got
kick
the
off.
Archbishop coming in, too.
We have the Archbishop coming, yes. We're blessed this year. At 9:30, Allison Byrne, whom some of you may know from Lowell, will sing a concert of Irish music.
She has a lovely voice.
She does. She's great. I mean,
Yeah.
it's worth going just to listen to
She went
Allison.
to, she went to school with my daughter, so
Oh, really?
they were friends,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
I just sent you the summary that he has.
Gotcha.
Okay,
How did you send it?
by messenger,
I'll go take a look.
Okay.
just so it makes it easier.
The actual mass kicks off at 10 o'clock. And as you said, His Excellency, the Archbishop, Boston Bishop Henning, is going to join us this year. He'll be the principal celebrant on the altar. At 11:15, we will,
You gotta turn it,
there you go. Well,
rotate, I'm sorry.
that's all right, that's okay.
I'll take care of it. It's just not a,
He'll get it.
bingo, put it up there.
He'll get it.
At 11:15, we'll parade to City Hall and raise the Irish flag in front of City Hall, say a brief prayer at the Irish Monument on Cardinal O'Connell Parkway, and then it's back to the church for a brunch in the basement. More Irish music, more Irish step dancing, and just a good time. The brunch is only $5, so it's the best deal in town.
I was gonna say, that's a pretty good deal.
So we have to thank the people at Owl Diner twofold. First, they supply all the food for the brunch, and second, we steal customers from them that day. So they take a double hit. So we're grateful to the people at the Owl Diner. If you've never been to this mass, it is quite an undertaking. The processional inn starts with a bagpiper, then the Knights of Columbus, then the police and fire honor guard, then Brendan McMahon comes in with the Irish flag, then the Hibernians and representatives from Lowell Irish. Then we're hoping to have some of the school students process in. After that, the fill on the bagpipe stops. Kenya picks up with her fiddle, and she'll play an Irish jig, and the Irish step dancers dance down the center aisle of the church.
Wow,
Yeah, it's not often that you see that.
no.
After the dancers, the clergy processes into the organ, and it's quite a fabulous service. And as I said, the bishop will be there, and hopefully he'll be the homilist. Now, as I have to warn everybody, the same warning that we get every time we talk to the bishop's office. It's subject to a change in his calendar. So he's planning to be there, but so that's the kickoff to Irish Cultural Week. Tuesday night we're trying something new. It's Irish Trivia Night, and Owen and Ollie's has been gracious enough to host us. The doors open at 6. The trivia will start at 7. I understand there will be prizes. I don't know what they are. And if you ask me what the rules for trivia are, I don't know. Have to ask Kathleen Haley and Caitlin McKean. They're in charge of that. And so we'll learn that evening. Thursday night is our Acre Forum and Adam Carr Awards. That's at Mount Pleasant. This year we're honoring 4 people for their contributions to Lowell Irish. The Acre Tour on Saturday. If Dave McKean, I don't know if any of you know Dave McKean. Dave McKean's a Lowell native, a historian, worked for the National Park, and he is the historian and archivist for St. Patrick Parish and for Lowell Irish. And he every March he does this Acre Tour. You start at the Visitor Center on Market Street, the National Park Visitor Center, and he makes his way over to St. Patrick Church, and he'll tell you tales of the acre that you can't put in print.
Uh-oh.
So you'll never read Dave's history, but it will be entertaining. I will promise you that.
But if you video him at some point, that
He
becomes.
won't let you do that.
He won't? Okay.
No video.
You check out the video, he'll shut up.
What if you can do it without him knowing
Well,
and tell him
you-
later?
you-
Oh,
try
no,
later.
no, can't do that.
Yeah.
You
You
could.
want the stories.
Yeah.
So Saturday night is our annual dinner dance. This would be
Lindsay's.
at Lindsay's. This again is I don't know how they do this. You get a 3-course meal, the band and everything. It's $45 a head. It's a really good take, and it's a lot of fun. There's a combination of traditional American music and traditional Irish music. I used to take a couple of my grandnieces to this dance and expose them to Irish music. It's a lot of fun that evening. And finally, on Sunday, the 15th, the Hibernians are hosting a ceilidh, which is an Irish folk dance. And if you're into Irish dancing or you never knew about Irish dancing, you want to go try that out. So that's what Irish Cultural Week is all about. It is a chance for us to celebrate our Irish heritage. We also try to raise a few dollars to help preserve St. Patrick's Church. Our latest project is to get new doors on the front of the church. I don't know if any of you have been to St. Patrick's.
Oh, yes, many times.
But then sometime in the 1970s, we're guessing, they took off the wooden doors and put glass storefront doors on. Those doors are now failing, and they're inappropriate for a Gothic church like St. Patrick's. So we're trying to get wood architecturally correct doors for the church.
Do you know
Consider
how old
fiberglass. Consider fiberglass, no maintenance, they don't shrink, they don't expand, they don't do water.
So I am not.
Go with a professional door maker, get a
That-
fiberglass door.
That's what we'll do, but we need to raise the money to
Good,
change the
right.
doors, whatever they put on, and we want something that is architecturally correct.
And it won't be cheap.
It's not gonna be cheap,
No.
no.
Well, if you haven't been inside St. Patrick's Church in 10 years, it deserves a visit. The place looks brand spanking new inside.
Yes, we
Fantastic job you guys did.
we are blessed. The interior was restored to the 1906 church by John Canning and Company, and it's an award-winning restoration.
We did many a funeral over there where they had the big iron things all over the church,
yes.
redecorating, and it was a beautiful time. You could see the job little by little by little happen.
So the church dates from 1906, is that when it was?
So the church dates to 1854.
Oh, wow.
They started construction of the church in 1854. 1848. It was completed in 1854, as best I can recall. And it was built by Father John O'Brien.
Okay.
Father John's Medicine.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And there was a fire in 1904 that destroyed the interior of the church, but the exterior walls remained. It was
A
rebuilt.
little story about that is the altar in the lower church used to be the altar in the upper church.
Yeah, that's one of the tales Dave will tell you. He'll tell you how the altar fell through the floor straight down to where
Exactly,
it is. And
the-
we left it there.
The Irish
Perfect.
are so stingy, well, we'll
We'll
use
just
it for
leave
the
it there.
lower church.
Yeah.
But the church was rebuilt in 2 years. to the church you see today. The clear story was added, so there was height added, a new steeple was put in, and a new organ, which was just recently restored. So the organ has 4 divisions, 2,748 pipes. So going to the church just to hear the organ is great. There's a chime, a set of 11 bells in the spire. We play those before and after the 10 o'clock mass on most Sundays. It's quite a nice church, and it's worth preserving.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's a good project for the community preservation money.
Well, if
I think, because.
we will take money any place we
It
can
could
get it.
be qualify under the historic
Right.
provision of the law, right?
Right, right. So, I mean, the program, I think, I used to sit on this
Yeah.
board, and I think this is a good candidate, because the city looks to preserve, histories, historic buildings and whatnot. So I think it's probably one of the criteria that fits nicely into one of the, I guess, one of the 4 categories that they have.
Yes.
So I think you should look into it.
We will.
It's a beautiful building.
CPA money, and I'm not sure when it comes out in terms of like when you apply, but I think they might be able to help with that. Yeah.
We'll take a look.
Well,
You
the
can see,
man-
this is a live shot of St. Patrick's Church.
Right.
And fantastic
The
place. to
manager's office should have that information.
Right.
And for those people who are saying, well, government funds, church and state, that precedent has already been settled, because we had that battle in Chelmsford with the Unitarian Church when
It's
they
in the center.
when they wanted to restore the clock.
Yeah.
And that was a big issue. Well, and the ruling from the Attorney General at the time was, no, it's primarily, even though it's a church, it is primarily, for this purpose of the law, is designated as a historic structure.
Right.
So you shouldn't have any,
I don't think there's a
you'll
problem.
get some people that
Yeah.
complain,
Yeah.
but.
I doubt it.
yeah.
We during my term, we fixed a church. I think it's on Church Street. I forgot the name. I think
A
it's
church
one.
on Church Street?
Yeah, Church Street. I think that there's a big one there, and I think they fixed around the steeple.
Yeah.
Is that the Baptist
Yeah.
church?
That's what
To
we
the
said.
right-hand side, I think.
You
Yeah.
want me to find out what it
Um,
is?
So I think it's a really good candidate,
Well,
and I
thank
think
you.
the city manager
Yeah,
might
that's
be able
something
to.
worth following
We'll
up.
pursue
Maybe,
that.
yeah, something you may not have thought about, trying to do stuff on your own, you may be able to have
Right.
assistance. And there's no strings attached to
Right,
that.
and there's nothing there. It's the money from the people.
Yeah.
Take it from the taxpayer money, and so therefore it's the people's, the residents' money where you can
Correct.
put into, help preserve the community. And I think the city would love to have preserved, historic site such as the church that you mentioned. So,
And then it would be by vote of the city council. If the proposal
right. So
came up, you would have to vote to
Yeah.
authorize that.
So what happened is that you put it into the application into the Community Preservation Committee. And they're looking into it, basically, you put down, the cost, what's need be fixed, and what's the price, it will be, what material, like John mentioned, whoever.
Might help with the doors.
Yeah, and then you put it all together, and then you submit it to the CPA
Okay.
committee, and then they're looking at it, and I think,
So I've got one vote already, right?
Well, Sidney is the city council,
yeah,
represents your
but
district.
I think this is a really good. There was history also how we accepted
Okay.
application, from another church before, and so therefore, and this is the site where we want to preserve, and I think in terms of money, depending on how much you ask for,
Okay.
it could go up to $500,000, it could go up to 50,000, it could be up 10,000, whatever may be. in terms
Whatever
of,
is in your fund.
Yeah, whatever, yeah.
We'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll certainly pursue that.
There
So
you
I
go.
did look up, because you wanted to know what the dates were. So in Lowell, Mass, pre-eligibility forms for Community Preservation Committee are accepted on a rolling basis with a deadline to submit, often running from June 1st, 2026 through September 24th. Full application, excuse me, are due by November 5th this year.
You got time.
And then it tells you the application process, and when I asked it,
Okay.
I can get the applications online.
Great.
So everything is right there for you. And then you have Sydney as a contact, so maybe that was why we had the two of you together this morning.
How do you like that? Things work out the way
Things
they're
work out.
supposed to.
Well, I'm always looking for
There you go.
reasons.
Oh, and it's in the acre.
The Acre's a great section of the city.
Yes, and I've been living in the acre, I mean, since '87, so.
Yeah.
And I haven't left that area since, so.
How many acres in the acre? No, I'm just-
I believe it's 40. I believe it's 40.
40 acres in the acre?
That's what it
Okay.
was conceptualized as, yes.
All righty.
The mill owner, the mill owner gave St. Patrick's Church 40 acres of land. That's why it's called the acres.
Yeah.
Now, Ray, do you have any idea what percentage currently of the residents of Lowell are of Irish descent? Do you?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Somebody keep track of it?
no, I don't think so. So I know that St. Patrick's parish has a big draw among the Irish throughout Greater Lowell. And so on the opening Mass for Irish Cultural Week, we expect the church to be 2/3 full with people from all around Greater Lowell who
Right.
come back to St. Patrick's just because they have an emotional attachment to it. The parish today serves a small English-speaking community, Lowell's Hispanic community, Lowell's Vietnamese community, and we have a small but very dedicated Burmese community.
Now, do they offer masses in any of those languages?
There's one Mass in English every weekend, 3 in Spanish and 1 in
Oh,
Vietnamese.
wow, okay, good.
And the Burmese community comes to the 10 o'clock Mass. I know that because they sit just to the left of me. They're great people. And at the opening Mass, we've invited the Vietnamese community to sing a hymn at the beginning of communion. And as soon as the Vietnamese community is finished, Vietnamese choir is done, the Burmese choir will sing a hymn in
Nice.
their native tongue.
Nice.
So we want to be all-inclusive. We do put a no in front of everybody's name that day. So Mayor Chow used to be Mayor O Chow. And so we want to have a lot of fun. In the parade, we have a bunch of flags that we will pass out to all of the young people that they get to wave as they march down Merrimack Street towards City Hall.
Ray, a question from the audience.
Sure.
Are churches supposed to implement any green agenda when they do a rehab of the church? And if you can't know everything, it's just, maybe you don't know.
So I do not know that.
Good. So no, on this door right here,
Yeah.
to get the feds to pay for the doors, have them take out all the hot top and put in new hot top at the same time.
Oh,
You guys need new hot top over there severely?
so they're, as you know, you brought up, we've been in a 25-year restoration of this church at time. We did the interior, we fixed the roof, we re-leaded the windows, repaired the organ. This year, we put in architectural lighting. The church was just too dark at night for anybody to want it. So there's architectural lighting. The church is now lit. We want to change the doors. We restored the front lawn, painted the fence, and we want to put in new sidewalks and asphalt. And our goal is to get this all done for the 200th anniversary of the parish.
Good.
And when is that?
That will be in 2031.
Oh, you have time.
Not really.
Well,
It's
you
5
have-
years.
Right, but if you can get CPC funds,
If we can, yes.
if you can get them,
Wow.
and maybe there's a possibility of, like, say, matching funds if they don't have enough of it, so we gotta take a look and see what's in that, and I don't know.
Right. I mean, I strongly, would ask
I mean, that
you
was a
to
great
pursue it,
idea,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
you're doing it all on your own, and yet if you have a historical location, the availability of those funds, and there may be other funds. What about the whole archdiocese and the whole thing that's in Massachusetts and the country? Do they do anything with regard to any of these buildings
Not really. Each parish is sort of,
on their own?
Yep.
I mean, they won't let you fail, but the undertakings we're about to embark on.
Yeah, I also do approach DPD. They will I think, give you insight into the material maybe that
Okay.
could be qualified for, as a, community preservation, money toward, or, what kind of, equipment in terms of supplies and whatnot. So the good thing about the city is there's a lot of very, very good staff waiting for help.
The city's been terrific to us. We
Yeah.
have no complaints with the city at
Right.
all.
So ask them, and I think they actually is going to help you, through the application process as well.
Good.
Until they tell you, what you need and stuff like that, and then just get it to them. And I'm assuming, I think this is probably, if not all, will be at very least, some support.
Okay. Well,
For the church. Yeah.
we will certainly pursue it.
Sounds like a solution, which is kind of nice to have it developed.
So we got 20 minutes left, so Ray, can you tell us about the daffodil thing over to Lowell General again, please?
Sure, I'd be glad to. So the Lowell General Hospital Auxiliary is going to host Daffodil Day. It's on March 19th at both the main campus and the Saints campus. It'll be in the lobby, and they will sell baskets of daffodils and bunches of daffodils. I think a bunch is $10 and a basket is $12. And they also have this thing called Spreading Kindness, where if a $25 donation, they will deliver daffodils to a patient in the hospital.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and that's really great. So all the money they raise will go to Team Walk. That's their activity this time, and I think we're all familiar with Team Walk. Team Walk raises money to help cancer patients, people recovering, not with their medical needs, but with the other needs that are associated with people with cancer. So somebody may need transportation, they can help with that. Somebody may need meals delivered for a couple of days while they're recovering from their treatment. Team Walk will help with that. If somebody may need a wig or something else, Team Walk can help with that. And so it's a great thing that Team Walk does.
Fantastic stuff.
It really and it's all local. I know that there's a lot of it's all local.
people.
Yeah. And
So Irish Cultural Week, you want to roll into that? And then-
sure.
So we don't.
So everybody's invited to Irish Cultural Week. I mean, we're all Irish this week. This is our 43rd annual Irish Cultural Week. On the altar for the opening mass,
It's next weekend.
it's next weekend, the 8th. We're hoping to have Archbishop Richard Henning and Bishop Hennessy is also expected to be there, in addition to the priest from the parish and the founder of Lowell Irish, Father Doc Conway. And if you've been around Lowell a long time, you'll remember Doc Conway. It's quite a celebration in the morning. We'll have the Mass, the parade to City Hall, raise the Irish flag, sing the Irish national anthem, say a prayer at the Irish Monument on Cardinal O'Connell Parkway, and then come back to the church for brunch. Best brunch in the city for $5. And
Can't beat it.
you can't beat it, no. Tuesday night is Lowell Irish Trivia Night. This is new to us. It's the first time we're doing this. We're thankful.
Out to Owen and Ollie's and Drake.
Owen and Ollie's and Drake it. Yeah. So we'll see how all that works out. It should be a fun night. This is a takeoff of last November. We had a pub crawl, and we went from Old Court to Warp and Weft to the Old Worthen, and we did trivia at each one of those places as we moved along.
Cute.
It was fun. So that was the genesis of Trivia Night. We hope to do the pub crawl again next November. Thursday night is the Acre Forum. Bob Ferrant is going to come and talk a little bit about Irish history. Irish Whisper will be there to entertain us. There'll be several awards given out, and that also is a fun night. Now, we don't charge for any of these events. However, we will graciously accept any gift you want to give as you go through them. The Acre Tour, we've talked about that. Dave McKean will lead the Acre Tour on Saturday, the 14th.
It begins in downtown Lowell, right on
It begins on Market Street at the Visitor Center of the National Park. And I don't know what route he's going to take because he's taking different routes, but he'll make his way to St. Patrick's Church. You'll end up inside St. Patrick's Church. Saturday night's the dinner dance, another great take, and Sunday's the Kaylee. Now Lowell Irish doesn't stop with Irish Cultural Week. At the end of April, there's the Festival of Lights on Ecumenical Plaza, and we will open the church that night.
Now, where do they update this? LowellIrishWeebly.com?
Yes, it's updated all the time.
So anytime you want to know something, what's going on, you can just click over to their website.
Right.
Thank you.
So there's Doors Open Lowell. We'll open the church for Doors Open Lowell. Sometime this summer, we will have Lowell Irish Night at Epigram in Tingsboro. We'll bring in an Irish band and just have a celebration. And we'll redo we will participate in the Irish Festival at the Lowell Memorial Auditorium this September. Dave McKean does a tour of the cemetery in October, and then in November we'll do another pub crawl. So we've got a pretty full calendar.
Nice.
Sounds like there's an awful lot of things that's going on. Now, with regard to city council, you've got a bunch of stuff, Sidney, that you're taking a look at. One of the things is budget. I mean, budget is out there for Chelmsford also, because we have spring town meeting, we have representative town meeting in Chelmsford. We vote on the budget, the reps do. It is presented by the town manager. Your city manager presents that budget. And so.
It's written in doctoral math. It's very difficult for me to understand and process the thing. If I were a city councilor, I would take the budget to my favorite banker and see if somebody, and what his colleagues could explain this budget to me. It's very puzzling to me. Have you seen the budget yet, Sidney?
I've seen not the total budget. I've seen some sort of
Where do you see this?
numbers.
Where do you see this thing? Oh, yeah. It's like a maintenance thing for your motor.
Yeah, you're right. In terms of like trying to understand it, I mean budgeting. I like to break it down into pieces, and so when it's submitted to us in a whole, it's really hard. So I wanted to, break it down. I'm going to take it and then I'm going to just break it down by departments, so that I can see where the increase is at, and also. I wanted to see, where are some of the things that, we can, stabilize, and something that, because I feel like.
Your budget document doesn't do that for you?
Not that I've seen. I read it. It's coming.
There's no reason for that. Now, if you look at the Chelmsford budget, it's very straightforward. If you have a sixth grade education, you can understand it.
You can call Sam. Sam will help with the budget.
It's broken down by department. It's on Excel spreadsheet. If you talk to the town manager, he'll email it to you. That's the way it should be, okay?
Right.
It should not be difficult for people to understand it. Now, maybe they don't understand some of the expense categories, okay? But that can be easily explained. But the actual format itself, it should be very easy for the average citizen to look at and know that this department spends this amount of money. There should be, and if your budget isn't formulated like that, it's a problem.
Well, it's almost like they want to hide something.
Exactly. It shouldn't
Well,
be.
it's
difficult for
also
people to
good
understand.
if you
Shouldn't be.
can get a tour of the department. Years ago, the Lowell
Yeah.
Police Department was asking, we need tires, we need tires.
Yes.
And so city council went over to the garage, floor to ceiling, one bay,
Yeah.
was tires.
Yeah.
And he brought it up during the meeting and said, what are those old tires? Are they new tires? Why are you asking for more tires? Because you have floor to ceiling tires now. And red-faced police went like, I'll have to look into that.
I don't know if this is also possible. I'd like to see more. For example, don't on our website break it down. Let's say the election department, I want to know what's the budget for that
Yeah.
department and
Very
post it
simple.
on the website
Very
so
simple.
that we can break. And then let's go to the police department. What's the budget for the police department?
Very simple.
Yeah, break it down and then let people see it. I don't think it's on the website. I'm not sure. I have to check it.
It should
But
be.
something like that should be really simple and then total it up. This is gonna be the expense or this will be expense each year.
Well,
so
Sidney,
that
God
we
bless
know.
you, you've been around as long as I have, but when you have a city council that on the agenda is potholes, there's something wrong with administration. And just, that's something you have to, why are potholes on the agenda? They
Right.
should not be.
Yeah, it's gonna be more, unfortunately.
You know what? I actually agree with you.
Yeah.
Potholes are a routine operational situation that should be taken care of by the
And this,
administration.
this guy has you,
Yeah.
okay, we have four furnaces we gotta fix.
Yeah.
That's your problem, Mr. Manager. What are you bringing to the city council meeting for? It's your problem.
Well, anyway, the thing is with the budget, we have it so that it's fairly simple.
Very simple.
And then if you have each of the departments, there should be a link to their part of the budget proposed, and then when it's approved. And maybe it works differently in a city form of government versus what we have, but it seems to have worked for us. The school department does present their own budget.
Yes.
And it seems as though there's some discussion, I don't know how much you're aware of it, about the city taking over some of the oversight of the school department budget. Do you have know anything about that?
I think there's communication between the two. I do support that we are, sort of co-equal, part of the city, and we shouldn't be, sort of like taking over what, going on at the school or the school committee's responsibility. So this is something that I believe in also, but yes, there's some discussion about that, but it did not go anywhere just yet, just because there's only communication down with at the city council level, and then there need to be additional communication with the school committee. That will land on the mayor's lap because he chaired both committees. So
The comment from the audience, Einstein would have a tough time trying to figure out the city manager's arithmetic.
Well, shouldn't be that way.
Magic math.
Now,
Yes.
excuse me, in Lowell, the city does the maintenance for the school, is that correct?
I think so.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we have the same thing in Chelmsford.
Well, what they're trying to do right now is rob the good janitors out of the schools, and I don't think you should let that happen.
Yeah, there was this discussion of having a separate facility department. So that's, it's in the hole someplace
To cover both
Yeah.
City and schools.
in school.
Yeah.
So, but that's still in the discussion phase.
We have that in Chelmsford, and it works, and we've saved quite a bit of money by doing it that way, and we've also improved, I think, we've improved the maintenance
You
services.
see, Sam, the difference between Lowell and Chelmsford is management. Now, this is the Rogers School right across the street. Now, you'll notice, they don't have a snowbank
Why is that?
because we have a fantastic custodian crew. The
Go
guy
to
named
Stock
Dick
Closer
Kulik.
right now.
Dick Kulik is the
Where did
boss
they-
over there, and he does a fantastic job. And the city's gonna rob this guy from this school, and we're gonna have this.
Where did they put the snow?
They just blow it over here.
Oh, they use a snow blower, okay.
Well, he's got a little plow, and
Yeah.
these guys put a team effort together, do a fantastic job.
Good.
But the miracle is, no place like the Rogers School has no snowbank, and they want to rob this guy and put him someplace else. Terrible.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday we have this email from residents where part of the sidewalk at the Stocklosa School was piled with snow and the kid couldn't walk. So I'm in the work with, DDS or with assistant city managers to clear it out, but it's gonna be tough because the entire sidewalk is unwalkable. And so it blocked almost one half of the street at
Cindy,
the
I'm going to give you
Stocklosa.
another perfectly good example, okay? Here's the Rogers School sidewalk, okay?
Mhm.
It's all taken care of.
There you go.
Look at this corner.
Right.
Across the street, city. Look
Yeah.
at this mess. This is, the school knows how to take care of their property. The
Yeah.
city does not. So it's a perfectly good example. Don't let let's keep the kids safe.
You know,
That's my takeaway.
what I learned so far is that this is not a bad thing, but it's just the real thing. Where you live can actually affect a lot of your daily life.
Without a doubt.
Whether it's you live in a small street when snow comes. Now, this is not the fault of the city or the fault of the snow or, whoever. It's just that it's happened and we need to find a way to deal with it. Because I've been talking about small street. You got pile of snow and the truck cannot go in. The little cars are really piled up. You're talking about some of Kimball Street, or you're talking about some of the very, very small dead-end street. You can't get them, but at the same time, they need help. And, I mean, of course, I talk about also in the acre, we'll need a lot more support where we need to actually learn and adapt as well in terms of, like, when the city said clear the street, we need to clear the street so that the city can do their work. If you park there and, they can't just keep towing people, they're going to miss our street. And that's what's going to happen is you're going to get trash on the street. You're going to get the street unplowed. So there's a lot of stuff at play where more education, more support, and connection, City Hall are really needed. I guess is, we need more connection in terms of just trying to get support and services from the city. And I hope that the smaller street, wherever they live, if you one last thing, if you go up here on Lawrence Street, connect to High Street, that street there you cannot go in at all. I drove through that street with my truck. It's almost like you live in another town.
Yep.
In some corner of the world, because that street is just go. It's like Lawrence, and then at Lawrence Street and at High Street, go up that little street there. I dare you can't go through that street. And I asked why. Why are these places?
Well, why do you have to know a city council to get your street plowed? Why do you have to know a city councilor?
My street couldn't get plowed last time.
They didn't plow your street?
It's terrible.
What do you think?
There you
My street didn't get plowed. And
Bus
it's up to
stops.
the hill. So
Comment from the audience, bus stops are not safe in the acre. Someone should hold people responsible for this. Respectfully, maybe the city shouldn't approve housing with no parking.
There you go. That's a huge problem in
agree.
Lowell that we don't generally have in the suburbs.
Ray, tell us about
people putting-
leprechaun luck. I got a text.
You got a text about leprechaun luck, okay.
Yeah, their phone number's down.
Leprechaun
Maureen,
Maureen McNiff.
Yep, that's her phone number.
Right, so, leprechaun, every year we have a drawing, a raffle. Grand prize is $5,000. Last year I sold you a ticket right here on the air. I can do it again this year if you like, but I understand you already bought a ticket.
Yeah.
The tickets are $25. We draw it at the dinner dance. Grand prize, $5,000 in cash, and it's one of our primary fundraisers. And so when we say we want to help with the doors, making money on a raffle like Leprechaun Luck is how we afford to do it. So if anybody wants a ticket, they can call Maureen at that number, or they can run me down, and I will be glad to sell them a ticket.
Or if you don't know how to get a hold of you guys, you always have 978-808-8200 that they can call, leave a message,
Yep.
and John would be able to give them
Yep.
the right contacts. So there's always opportunities for people to get in contact with. One of the things, just to conclude on when you were talking about the school department, Sidney, is that the school department runs by state statute, and the responsibilities are clearly defined within the state statute. So power grabs from the city would be in violation of state statute. So unless the school committee votes to give them power and authority, They can't.
Correct.
So that's one of the few things where you actually have things very clearly defined, just in case you didn't know. So if they're doing stuff, you want to check in that chapter 70 and chapter 74. There's a whole list of things that's there, and budget is one of them, and the oversight of the budget for the school department. Even though it's a line item as a department in your city budget, like it is in Chelmsford.
That's why I could never understand the Plan E structure that puts the mayor of the city council in charge of the school committee. Makes no sense to
Well,
me
it
at all.
looks to me like a conflict of
Well,
interest.
another thing
We won't
is,
go there.
Yeah, I
the
think it is.
attorney works for the manager. What a cockamamie thing that the manager should work for the city council, but he doesn't.
The attorney, I mean, should work
This,
for
the city
council.
attorney should be accountable only to the city council,
I absolutely agree with you.
not only to the manager.
Yeah.
It's only,
Well, anyway, we're going to
Crazy.
run out of time.
Yep.
We hope people, continue to watch the weather, because like I said, early this morning when we came in, there was a lot of black ice, but they seem to be doing fairly well mostly with that part. And Sidney, when you were bringing up plowing and everything, the city of Lowell is not alone.
No.
There's roads that aren't plowed in other communities within the Commonwealth. It's just simply because they were overwhelmed with the
Not in
amount of snow they
Chelmsford.
got in a short period of time.
but on
No,
the
we're
south.
we're very
Yeah.
the suburbs are a lot more controlled, I
Right.
think, and not
we ha-
overwhelmed.
And we have Christine Clancy.
Yes, we
I
have.
mean,
DPW
I
that
watched Eric, I watched the mayor make a complete fool out of the guy who runs the DPW.
Yes, but he can, because he's very knowledgeable about that.
And-
Anyway, thank you very much, Ray. Don't forget
thank you.
everybody about the Daffodil Days, and I'm assuming that John will put those flyers up. With
Tomorrow
that-
City Life, Cliff's gonna be the host, Eileen Del Rossi's gonna be here, Fred Bahu, Regina Fontecanti, and Sam Meese for State Senate. That's tomorrow. City Life time is short af.
Right, so there's a number of flyers, there's two things that's out there that John will probably put up in future City Lives up until it happens, and thank you very much,
Well,
Sidney,
thank
for
you
being
for having
here.
us
Thank
today.
you.
We
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
the
Yeah.
Really
opportunity.
appreciate that, and everybody stay safe, and Sam and I will see you next week.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
God
Oh.
willing.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.